However, there is now such an enormous amount of research that's been done on this subject that this doesn't actually have to be the case. It's very important that we differentiate between the type of supplements we're talking about, nutritional supplements, and the type of supplements that can often get mistaken for the same thing. Often people assume that we're talking about the same sorts of things that oversized bodybuilders would be taking. This is not the case at all. We're talking about supplements that benefit and that are an addition to food, whereas bodybuilders, and we're talking specifically the oversized, humongous type of bodybuilders that you see, they're taking completely separate sorts of things, nothing that we're going to be talking about today. So rather than go through the whole individual list of supplements, as there are enormous amounts, we've come up with what we consider the most important supplements for people to take if they wish. Now we're going to start with the most recognized and most frequently used supplement, and that is protein. Now I want to give the food equivalent, as I want to stress that when possible, or when the two options are available, food is always a better option than taking a supplement. So the food equivalent for a protein powder supplement would be any sort of meat, dairy, eggs, legumes, etc. They're all the food equivalent of protein supplements. So use protein supplements when food sources of protein are not actually accessible. The number of protein shakes or protein powdered meals that you take are really dependent on how often you can eat proper protein containing meals. A lot of the time people use protein supplements for their first meal of the day, breakfast, if they're in a rush to get to work or feed the children, get the children off to school, then often protein supplements can be used there. It's very important that, like I say, we stress the fact that protein supplements should be an addition to your normal nutrition, daily nutrition. So try not to use them for more than one meal in a day. The next supplement to talk about are fish oils, or omega-3s. Now these have been shown to be highly beneficial, combating or helping prevent a massive number of diseases, and also help decrease inflammation in the body, so anyone with sore joints benefits from fish oil. And they've also been shown to help with fat loss. So the food equivalent of fish oil supplements, or omega-3 supplements, would be fatty fish such as salmon, anchovies or sardines. However, for people that don't eat fish like myself, or for a lot of people I know, it's very important that you supplement with fish oils. So this also, you should also be aware of the fact that a lot of the world's oceans can actually be full of environmental pollutants. So that's also what makes it important that when you do buy a fish oil supplement or an omega-3 supplement, you're looking for ones that are pharmaceutical grade, which means that they've had all of those environmental pollutants taken out of them and they're very pure. So if you were to buy or go to a big superstore, big Tesco's or something like that, please do make sure that you look at the ingredients of the omega-3 supplement and don't just go for the cheapest one available, as often they won't be pharmaceutical grade. So the only time an omega-3 supplement could be bad for you to take in larger in any dose really is if it's not pure. So pharmaceutical grade fish oil is important to buy. Now the amount that you take really depends on the amount of body fat you have, as when you're looking for it to help with body fat loss, which it does very effectively, we recommend, or at least for the first 2 weeks, is 1 gram per % of body fat, which, if say for example you're 30% body fat, that's 30 grams. However, that's only for 2 weeks, if it sounds like a large amount, and then after those 2 weeks you drop it down to ½ gram per % of body fat. Therefore it would be a maintenance dose of 15 grams. Now if you're getting your omega-3 fish oil in liquid form, that's literally 15 grams is 1 tablespoon, so that's not much at all. Ideally, when you take your fish oil, you should try and break it down throughout the day, but obviously this is not always possible, so the most important thing is that you are taking it. So just looking at the benefits there, I've mentioned some already, but there's comprehensive amount of data and studies that show the positive effect that omega-3s have on the body, reducing inflammation, sore joints, arthritis, and actually muscle soreness. And like I said about fat loss, the reason it helps you lose fat is because it increases your insulin sensitivity. So it's particularly important for anyone that finds that they crave a lot of carbohydrates, or that have any history of type 2 diabetes or diabetes in the family, as it makes you more insulin more sensitive. So the next supplement we're talking about are green supplements. Now these are literally, as they sound, they are supplements that imitate the goodness that comes from vegetables and fruits. So often it's quite hard to get the amount of vegetables or fruits that we want in our diet, particularly if we're trying to minimize the amount of fruit due to the amount of sugar involved. And you found that to lose body fat effectively you need to cut down on the amount of fruit, then taking a green supplement is a great way to make sure that you're getting your right amount of vegetable intake. So the number of times you have your green supplements will depend on how much fruit or vegetables and fruit you're able to take in during the day. But if, for example, you're having super shakes and you're having a protein shake to substitute for a meal, adding a green supplement really does increase the amount of goodness that you're going to be able to take in, because of the amount of oxidants that it does contain and the fact that it alkalines your body. The final supplement we're going to talk about is one that most people are aware of, which are multivitamins and multiminerals. So the food equivalent for these are in fact just a varied diet, a lot of different coloured foods, providing lots of different sorts of minerals and vitamins. But the one thing to bear in mind is that due to the way our food is now made, the food does not contain as much in the way of nutrients as it did, say, 50 years ago. So it's very important that we're aware of this, and if this is the case, and if we're not able to get as many vitamin and mineral containing foods into our body as we'd like, then a multivitamin would fix this very, very easily. So we do recommend that you try and take a very high quality multivitamin daily, and when you do take it, you take it with meals as well. I'm sure there's going to be a large number of questions. I didn't want to go into too much detail in this presentation, but I would like everyone to really take what I've said on board, and if you do have any questions, please feel free to write them in the box below, or to ask any of us or the trainers. As everyone, we talk a lot about supplements, and a lot of all of the guys have had a lot of education on supplements, as they are quite prevalent in society now, and there's a lot of misinformation around. So if you do have any questions, like I say, please use the box below or ask any of the trainers, and we'll be able to give you what is in fact the truth, not what you've heard on the grapevine, or not what the scaremongers out there try and portray supplements to be. So I hope you found that interesting and useful, and like I say, please use the box below to ask any questions, and we'll see you at the next seminar. Thank you.